What's going on? It is 10 after 10 here, November the 1st, and I just decided that I want to participate in Nodevember, where basically if a program has nodes in it and I have experience in that program, I will teach you how to do something with the nodes. Without getting into too much overhead information, I'm just going to jump right into it. So we're going to start by making a blueprint. It's going to be an actor blueprint, and we're just going to call it light. And basically what this light is going to do is it's going to change color every time our character here walks through it. So start by opening up, and this white ball will not be shown in the scene for those of you who don't really zipping around too much. For those of you who don't really work with blueprints or know what a blueprint is, this is just showing you the origin point for your scene. Now let's see here, let's grab a point light. Okay, and that'll just be our main light source, and we'll drag it up just a bit. Yeah, there we go, something like that. So it's just a little bit off the ground, probably about head level somewhere there. And next what we need is a capsule. No, we're gonna go with a sphere collision, and for now we're just gonna leave it the name of sphere. Are we though? No, we'll name it trigger. Okay, so basically when the character walks into this sphere, nope, not this sphere, this sphere, it will trigger the code that we're about to put in. So first thing we'll do, turn up this radius. Sure, let's start with that. Now next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go into the event graph, and here we have some nodes, and we don't want these nodes. We'll just get rid of them, no big deal. Once you've deleted those nodes, we're going to click on the trigger sphere that we've made, and you're going to see these little plus buttons here. I'll drag this out so you can kind of see, and we need 2 items off this list. So on begin overlap, and this will trigger our code when the character walks through, and again end overlap, and this will trigger another line of code once the character walks out of it. So first thing we are going to do is we need to tell the code what character it's looking out for when we want to trigger it. So to do that, we are going to cast to, and we'll cast to the third person character. Okay. And that, just so you guys can see, is this guy right here, third person character, okay? So, other actors, what we're going to want to hook up to object here, and from here we are going to not do that. Basically what this will do is tell this code to look for the third person character, and when it begins an overlap, when it walks into that sphere's radius, it'll execute the rest of this code. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get the point light. Okay, so that's literally just clicking, dragging, dropping, and from here we are going to do set light color, right? And it's just right here, boom, done. Okay, and we're going to hook that up, and let's make it red, just so it's simple. Whoops. Hope if I turned up the value. So this is where you can actually see the color that you're putting out. And just drop it down a little bit, make it deep red. Yeah, there we go. Orangey, deep red. Sure. That looks fine. And we're actually just going to do something real easy here. We're just going to copy and move your mouse down to roughly where you want the section of nodes to drop. And Control V paste. And before we hook this up, we're going to just set it back to white. Okay, now I'm not going to get too technical on this, but basically if you were trying to set this back to, say you've gone ahead and customized the light to show a specific color. Let's do that actually. Let's just do that. Forget it. We're going to do it. So it's going to be yellow, okay? And I'm just going to copy the hex linear. You could do sRGB, the hex sRGB there. It doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to grab this top one, copy it, hit OK, and then when I go into my color picker here, I'm just going to do the same thing, hit enter, shows my color is confirmed. Okay, so now the light will initially show this yellow color. When I walk into it, it will be red, and when I walk back out, it will set it back to yellow. So let's compile this. Oh, and we have an error. So what I did there is on the other actor, I did not link this up to object, so the overlap would not know what to look for. So that should fix our issue there. And if I just drag off and I bring in my light, I'll move it up a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna hit play. So here's my character, he's walking in, and you can kind of see it's red. Let's do some things here. Let's make this a little bit better. I am going to do the super lazy thing, and I am just going to alt drag and make a little roof. Now we'll hit play. Okay, so now you can see the yellow light that I've made, and when we walk in, boom, red color. How about that, huh? And then when I walk away, it goes back to yellow. Red, yellow. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. You can do this with, well, really anything. You can do this with lights. You could have it set a material. You could have this work the other way around so that when your character walks into this light component here, they could change material as well. There's a lot of things you can do with the cast to, and oops, one sec. I lost my other window. Anyways, that's fun to look at, isn't it? So we'll just hit escape. And I'm going to bring this back in. So let's look back at the code again. And as you can see here, I'm just going to bring this up so you can visualize it a little bit better. This white sphere here is the attenuation radius, so how far the light is casting, right? And it doesn't really matter. I can turn up the intensity because for all intents and purposes, this is just a demo, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to turn up the intensity, and I'm going to turn up the attenuation radius. No, I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to have it kind of match the area, the overlap trigger area. And so I've turned up the value. I've basically, did I double that? We'll just double that. Oh, that's 20,000. Alright. Compile. And I could just go here, hit play. Now I gotta drag this out of my way. Okay, so that's fun and all, right? So we can change a lot more in the blueprints here. So again, I'm just going to drag off, get the point light. I could have copied this, doesn't really matter. You do you, I do me. So we're going to have set, let's do set intensity. So what this will do is this will set the actual light intensity. So first it will set the color to red, and then it will set the intensity. So we're going to go here, and new intensity. If I don't set this, it'll be 0, which means you will not see it. So let's make it something dumb like 50, 1, 2, 3, 50,000. Okay. And then what is the regular intensity on this? 2,000. Okay. So again, easiest thing to do in this case is copy paste. No problem copying and pasting here because it's just quicker. And what we're going to do is select that 2,000. Okay. And we're just going to compile. Move out, play, and here we go. Now look at that. Now you can really see what we have going on here. Nice intense light, and I walk out of the volume and it goes back to the dull yellow. Bright red, dull yellow. Fantastic. Let's take it one step further. So I should do this in this window so you guys can actually see. So this time I'll copy this and bring this here. Alright, no problem. And this time we will go set, what do we want to set this time? Do we want to set the attenuation radius? I think we do. So we'll do that. And again, we're just going to drag that over. And what is the attenuation radius currently set at? Because all I did was drag it out. So let's make it, so that's 500. So I'll remember that for the next couple seconds here, and we're going to go 2500 for that. And again, copy, paste, link it up, and send this back down to 500. And remember, 500 is what I just set the attenuation radius to. So this is basically setting it back to default. As far as I know, there is no way to just drop a code in that says set back to default or set back to base, I guess, base settings, like the settings you would set here. So this is how I do it. If there's a quicker way, well, that's in somebody else's Nodevember video. Nodevember? I almost said Nodevember. Whoops. Anyways, let's get out of here. And this time, the radius of the light should increase as I walk in here. And it did. It didn't increase that much, so I'm going to make it a little bit more visible for you guys. Drag this back over. I'm going to zoom back in. And the best way to do this, in my humble opinion, is to add some zeros. Right? Right. Boom. Play. Let's see what happens now. I thought it honestly would have been a lot more of an increase than what it was. But you guys get the gist of it. I've changed the size. I've changed the color. We can also... Let's see here. We're going to do one more thing with lights, and then that'll be it for this quick little Nodevember video. So this time, bring this back over so you guys can see. So this time what we're going to do is we are going to have the light change color, change intensity, and change radius. And then on this section of code, when they walk out, instead of setting back to normal, we will have it, we'll just toggle visibility. So we're just going to delete these nodes, and we're going to just type in, and oh no, we're going to set the visibility. We're not going to toggle the visibility. We'll talk about that in a second. So we're going to go here, set visibility, and boom. I believe I need that checked to have it invisible, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Trial and error, that's how we do these things. So right now you can see the light is yellow, red, and when I walk away, nope, it just stayed. Okay, bring this node back in, compile. So all I did there was click this new visibility button because I think that's what I messed up on. And red, there it goes. Okay, so another quick demonstration here. So what's happening is I walk into the sphere tells it, hey, you're overlapping the character, change the light color, change the radius, change the intensity, change all that stuff, and then, hey, you're not overlapping that character anymore, turn the light off. So there's a lot of things you can do by casting to a character and setting an overlap. You can change materials, you can change everything, and you'll notice that when I walk through, even though that sphere is there, that actor is still there, nothing's happening. So, how do we fix that? Easy. Watch this. I'm gonna go back here. I just keep adding on to this. So we're actually going to take these nodes, slide it down. Okay, and we're going to take this, copy, paste, move it up, boom, connect, and, oh, nope, not that one, this one. So this one should keep it visible, and this one will set it to invisible. And basically, when I walk out, so I've walked out, no visibility. Now when I walk back in, it comes back, and it comes back red. And the reason it's coming back red, if we take a look at the code, is because we took out all the other logic that set the color, the radius, and everything else, so the blueprint only does two things. Three things technically, but we'll talk about it on a code level. So on a code level, it only knows that when it overlaps the character, it sets the visibility so you can see it, number one. Then it changes the color. Then it changes the intensity. Then it changes the radius. Then when you're done overlapping, it turns off the light and sets the visibility to nothing. Makes it invisible. That's a poor explanation, but hey, it's an explanation. There's nothing in the code after that to reset the light back to how it was. and it would be kind of redundant because the light's going to be invisible in this set of code anyways. So that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to do something like super simple. We'll do a quick demo here. We'll go and we'll do something kind of fun, kind of basic, but I think you guys will enjoy it. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So if you go Alt, click, and Shift, you can make a bunch of these really easy. Just like so. And then we're going to do the same thing. And we're just going to keep on making them. And the arrow is shifted over here now. Can't really see, but that's fine. Okay. So as you can see, before I start moving, there are lights everywhere. And as I walk into them... Oh, that one glitched out. That one probably glitched out because I started in it. So we'll do this. Delete you. And we'll take our player and we'll move him here. So that way he's not in any of those red spheres, so he's not initially triggering the blueprint. Okay, so like I was saying, there's lights everywhere. They're all small, yellow, whatever. And as I start walking through them, they change to red and they disappear. Look at that. It's a game. We have a game. Super basic. Super easy. I don't even think this took us 5 minutes to do. So that's basically it. I have it set now that every time I go back through it, it's going to be turning on the lights because that was the last thing we did inside the blueprints, was give it a set visibility and set the visibility to true or set it to be on. So now as I keep walking through, I'm setting off all these red lights as long as I'm overlapping them. And as you can see, once I walk out, the previous one goes off, next one goes on. And this would be really useful for something like a racing game, or if you had like a mystery game and you added some more context. You could have a hallway turn the lights on and off. You could have it trigger a flicker. Overlap events are super powerful and really easy to set up, as you can see. So we're going to take one last look at the code, just so you guys can copy, paste, and do all that fun stuff. So, one more explanation. Every time it overlaps the third person character, our character, the point light is going to have its visibility set to on. So it should already be on, but this will just make sure that it's on. Okay, and then the point light is going to turn red, and then the point light is going to set its intensity to 50,000, and then the point light is going to set its attenuation radius. Okay, then when we walk out of the sphere, on the overlap ending, so we walk out and we're no longer overlapping the trigger as our third person character, the character we are controlling, the point light will set its visibility to off. Okay, and that's really it. There's nothing else to this Nodevember video. It's super simple, super straightforward, and yeah. Hopefully I have something that's a little bit more involved for the next one. I'm not really sure because, like I said, I just decided 10 minutes ago that I'm going to do Nodevember videos. So I'm going to crush this edit out and post it to wherever the hell, and hope you guys found it useful. I will see you in the next one.